Okay, dann gehen wir mal in New Locations in den, ja, ins prison's governor's office, the office of the governor of Barclay Prison, which stands behind Lowgate Cemetery. Dann gehen wir da mal hin. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. 1st November, Barclay Prison, Governor's Office. This place is full of hardened criminals. I kinda remember the last time a civilian was done here. And you didn't want to talk to an inmate, but to me. Okay. You ken who I am. I am the governor, Barry Caden. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Rionosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan! Did you say Japan? Yes? Well, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try to the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, so... Mir fällt gerade auf die Uhr im Hintergrund. Dass es einfach eine Guillotine ist. Uff. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about... I didn't like to be so direct, but... I have no intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicious looking Easterners. Now get out of my hair. So as soon as she finds out that we are from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means... I think it's because of the professor case. You think so too? 10 years ago, Genshin Azogi, also known as a professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison. I might have known. You're sniffing around about that case, aren't ya? You're agents, eh? Part of the professor's great rep, no doubt. No, not at all. Get gone with ya. Before I punch your light suit. We're going. Clearly the ghost of the killer still haunts this place. We are not going to get anywhere here. Unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Caden. What are you thinking, Miss Susato? I feel sure that name came up in the conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Okay. Hä? Hat's nicht Herlock einfach erwähnt? Oder scheinbar nicht. Lord Chief Justice Officers. Converse. Okay, auch nicht. Oder, nee, warte. Hat Mikoto war nicht mit dem Richter drüber gesprochen? Ich glaube schon. Er chillt da. Auch cool. Mikotoba, hallo. That's Professor Mikotoba over there. Ah, hello you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. But where's Judge Jigoku? Yes, he is not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today. Goodness, he is full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before. About how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison. Oh, Governor Caden, you mean? So it is the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we are suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful if you have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee? Now, I have rather a lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know? Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts? Let's not fall out now, I have an idea. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Ah, thank you. The letter of introduction has been entered into the court record. A note of introduction on our behalf from Professor Mikotoba to Governor Kaden. Hopefully now he'll be willing to talk to us. Good luck then. Gut, dann gehen wir wieder zurück. Dankeschön, Professor Mikotoba. Und da sind wir wieder. Bitteschön. If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Kaden. What's this then? You cannot pull the wool over my eyes, you good-for-nothing Japanese student. Mikotoba. That young jock from the forensic laboratory. That Mikotoba. Yes, exactly, him. Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Eugene Mikotoba's daughter, Susato. Jinx! You are the young man's daughter. And you didn't think to mention that before. I do apologize. Aye, well, you best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? And didn't forget to try one of these wee handcuffs biscuits. Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. Wow. So then, what can I do for you, Hen? Well, we are currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see? He's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor. I haven't heard nothing of the sort. There's no missing person in my prison. Oh, but how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warder. Eh? Vigil? That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? I of course. Okay, dann reden wir mit ihm. Chief Warder Vigil. We understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Sorry, did you say was? Das habe ich mich auch gerade gefragt. Aye, he doesn't work here no more. He left the job. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's a question. When was it about? It can have been much less than 10 years ago now. Bitte was? What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago. Aye, as I minded. I have I haven't heard the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing though. But Miss Widgers made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important, is it? Yes, I believe it may be. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago. Ah! Which was exactly when the Professor was being held at this prison. Also hat es wahrscheinlich was damit zu tun. 10 years ago. So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of Chief Warder 10 years ago now, you're telling us. What happened to make him leave the job? In actual fact, he did not leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean, he was dismissed? It was after a particular walk. Sorry? A walk? Aye, that's a word for it in here. A walk to the gallows. An execution. It's the job of the Chief Warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see? Only Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning. Hat ihn freigelassen, oder was? I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a Chief Warder to be relieved of his post. But why wouldn't Miss Virgil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't can anything about that, I'm afraid. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? And what would that be, Hen? That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the Professor's? My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm not at liberty to answer that. I see. Okay, das finden wir scheinbar später raus. Professor Mikotoba. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted. The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Do you ken? Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable. Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard. Okay, was war palatable nochmal? Palatable. Genießbar, okay. In the basement of St. Sinners. It's still in use today. St. Sinners, that's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right, we've been there. Mikotoba and I have used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms. Was war St. Sinners nochmal? War es nicht auch ein Krankenhaus? For more fresh material, I suppose. Aye, and we used to sit in here for hours and gab on a boot dissection and all sorts. Ouch, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a blade of cuff biscuits, of course. How charming. He was a good fella, your father. Reliable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin Azogi, I suppose. Well. I cannot tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one moment before you are away then. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Okay. Ah, found it. Here, take this as sweet souvenir of your visit to the prison. What is it? That's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course. Oh my! Are you sure? It's no trouble at all. It's no the original, mind. Vigil's dismissal notice has been entered into the court record. The harsh reprimand incurred by Mr. Vigil 10 years ago that resulted in him losing his job as chief warder at Barclaycard, ja moin, die Barclaycard Arena, wahrscheinlich. Barclay Prison. Hat Barclay eigentlich okay, Barclay hat keine Bedeutung, ist einfach nur ein Ort. Und Reprimand? Verweis. Okay. Der harsche Verweis. Verursacht bei Mr. Vigil. Oder incurred? Incurred? Zugezogen. Oh Gott, da muss ich einmal kurz niesen, es tut mir leid. Aber ja, zugezogen heißt incurred. Thank you very much, Governor Caden. Well, in return. Do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed. Kann ich nicht versprechen. Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sholmes with what we found out about Mr. Vigil. What will he tell Miss Vigil, I wonder? Okay, ich guck mir das nochmal an, die Karte hier. Chief Warder Daily Vigilance relieved of his powers with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for Prisoners. All rights to redundancy pay and other financial benefits are fully revoked. Reason for dismissal: aiding and abetting the escape from the prison of convict. Wahrscheinlich der, ja, also nicht wahrscheinlich, sondern Genshin Asogi just prior to his execution. Details of this escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Prison Governor Barry Caden. Okay. And here additional notes. Indications are that the jailwake plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed that the convict engaged in some form of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. Okay. Also hat er es vorher geplant und hat mit den Gefängniswachen verhandelt, um halt ihre Assistenz sicherzustellen. Interesting move. Sholmes Suite. First November, Sholmes Suite. We are back! Hello, you two! I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all. Ah, so that's what the delicious smell. Greetings, my dear fellows. Oh no. You've returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Ist er jetzt in der Blue Head League oder was? Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application. Oh my. Pray, tell me, what of our warden friend? Have you garnered some new information? Oh, yes. Something very surprising, in fact. Though it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest. It most certainly isn't. But still, we discovered Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes. This is more important. Gina. I can't Adam and Eve it. What's happened? Was ist mit Gina los? Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Mr. Straight made no mention of my hair whatsoever. It's the boss. What do you mean? Inspector Gregson. Was ist mit Inspector Gregson? The boss is... He's dead. Was? Bitte was? Gregson is dead? What? They just found his body, shot with a pistol. Als ob Gregson tot ist. What? But Inspector Gregson, he was murdered. No, not Gregsy. Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story. Was? Was? Gregson? Alter, was? Never. Hä? Was ist mit Ace Attorney los? Seit wann killen wir Hauptcharaktere? Seit wann killen wir Hauptcharaktere in Ace Attorney? Okay, außer Mia und Kazuma, aber seit wann killen wir Hauptcharaktere? Come in, my dear girl. Tell us your story. Wow. Unerwartet. Definitiv unerwartet. Holy shit. Okay, Gina. The inspector's death. Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was really shot. I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They are still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats in Fresno Street. The outskirts of town, nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around here. Around there. Oh, how strange. The boss he was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I'd become a proper detective. Oh, Ginny. Puh. Die Plot Twists keep coming, würde ich sagen. Die Plot Twists. Gregson, nein. The culprit. So who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? They got him already. Already? They've caught the shooter so soon. A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there and took care of him. Who? What awful person did this? I still can't believe it myself. Gina. It was the weep. Nein. Nein! Nein! Was ist da denn los? The Reaper, was? Es war Barock van Siegs. Nein. Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord van Siegs for it? That's right. That Reaper bloke's gone. And shot the boss. No, Lord van Siegs. Alter, das... Nee, das ist schon wieder zu viel. Das ist schon wieder zu viel. Als ob das wäre, als ob Edgeworth Gumshoe umbringen würde. Das wäre genau so. Was zum Teufel, Lord van Siegs? Are you quite sure, Mr. Straight? It's Barock van Siegs the police have arrested. I saw him with my own eyes, in the interview room at the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they are all saying it was him. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss, and that Reaper bloke in the room. But there's no way Lord van Siegs would have taken Waxon's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. Alter. Thank you for informing us, Mr. Straight. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come in all, as soon as you can. You've gotta help. Oh Mann. It's a detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming, How could I let this happen to Gregson? To Gregson! Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later then. Junge. Inspector Gregson, dead. And Lord van Siegs arrested. Wuno, Susie! I've called you a hansom. It's waiting outside. Thanks, Iris. Sorry, Miss Susato. Yes! Puh, weißt du, ich hätte jetzt gedacht, Gregson Tod, okay, das ist schon heftig. Aber ich hätte so gedacht, der Täter ist vielleicht der Mr. Vigil, der verloren gegangen ist und seit 10 Jahren nicht mehr im Gefängnis arbeitet. Weil die Connection ja irgendwie obvious wäre. Aber dann sagt sie Lord van Siegs! Dann sagt sie fucking Lord van Siegs! Was ist da denn los? Was ist da los? Junge. Definitiv unerwartet. Okay, ich habe gefragt, wie das Spiel überhaupt noch weitergehen soll nach dem letzten Fall. Es ist wieder alles offen. Gregson tot. Lord van Siegs so gut wie tot, wenn er jetzt angeklagt ist. Und die Frage ist, wer übernimmt die Staatsanwaltschaft? Wenn Lord van Siegs angeklagt ist. Sein Apprentice vielleicht? Macht das vielleicht Kazuma? Wenn ja, wäre das schon irgendwo krass. Das wäre schon krass, wenn Kazuma die Staatsanwaltschaft machen würde. Darüber mache ich noch gar nicht nachdenken. Nein, es ist noch nicht so weit. Das ist noch nicht passiert. Vielleicht wird es auch nicht passieren. Ich möchte nicht drüber nachdenken, okay? Runterkommen und jetzt erstmal den Tatort untersuchen, Tom. Erstmal den Tatort untersuchen und mit Lord Van Zieks überhaupt erstmal sprechen. Das ist das Wichtigste, bevor wir in Spekulationen verfallen. Okay, let's go.